Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off with our current reigning Mr. Olympia, Samson Dauda. This video of him was actually taken 4 days prior to winning his first Olympia title. Now, there's been a little bit of controversy around should Samson have actually won this show, and Tyler Mannion has already put out a breakdown breaking down everything that happened at the show. I'm not going to go into detail about either topic because I don't think that Samson winning this year's O was arguable. Now, from my point of view, watching the show from home on the live stream, Samson was just the most consistent guy day 1 and day 2. I feel like Hadi came in flat day 1 and Derek came in flat day 2, and Samson was just perfectly in the middle. And I think the reason that some people are confused was because Samson did not have a blowout victory at this year's Olympia. Hadi Choopan came in flat the first day and he lost entirely too much ground. Even though Hadi was better day 2, he lost too much ground on day 1. And from my point of view, the judges honestly just don't seem to like Derek Lunsford anymore. Not saying that he was robbed, but seems like the judges really liked Derek last year, and this year they just don't. But congrats to the new Mr. Olympia. He's going to be a great ambassador for the sport. Now, switching over to former Mr. Olympia Hadi Choopan, who of course got a hero's welcome once he came back home. And seeing all the love that Hadi Choopan gets, I can understand why this guy gets so frustrated taking second at the Mr. Olympia. He probably feels like he let so many people down. And even though Hadi did not show it this year, I'm pretty sure he was even more pissed than last year. Hadi got back-to-back second place finishes, but this year he was a lot more professional after receiving that second place finish. And Hadi also recently announced that he's going to be out of the Arnold Classic. I'm seeing some people that's upset by that. You guys have to remember, last year Hadi prepped for the Mr. Olympia, probably extended his prep to do the Arnold, and extended it even more to do the Arnold UK. It's quite possible that Hadi prepped for a year last year. Let the Persian Wolf take a little bit of time off. But last time that Hadi Choopan took second at the O, the next package that we saw from him was possibly one of the greatest physiques we've ever seen in bodybuilding history. Of course, about top 15, maybe top 20, but I'm excited to see the return of Hadi Choopan. This guy has so many people supporting him, and he's going to be back and even better. We're probably not going to see Hadi again on stage to next year's Mr. Olympia, and again, with as much time he spent in prep, I think is well deserved. Now, switching over to the mutant Nick Walker, courtesy of Buys and Tries over on Instagram. Love me or hate me, but everyone loves a comeback story. And you guys know I'm a huge Nick Walker fan, but Nick, I have to be honest with you. When Nick came onto the scene, everything he said he was going to do, he did it for at least the first 2 shows, the New York Pro and the Arnold Classic back in 2021. And that was about 3, almost 4 years ago at this point. Nick has been making empty statements for the past 3 or 4 years and not delivering on them. So Nick, as much as I'm a fan of you, you're going to have to deliver on some of these promises. So GOAT Fitness will not be pumping hype into Nick Walker until I see him on another bodybuilding stage. I can't keep supporting these empty promises, Nick. I just can't. And moving on from Nick Walker, I want to talk about a recent post put up by his coach, Matt Jansen. And it wasn't the images, it was actually the caption. So the caption says, "A decade spent pursuing a dream. Amid all the challenges around us, one thing has stayed constant. I wouldn't be the man, coach, or person I am today without this incredible woman by my side. I'm truly grateful that no matter where my heart has taken me, she has always been there to follow right along, supporting, encouraging, being the one I could always count on. We've had a good run, babe." Not sure about you guys, but it sounds like a retirement post from Matt Jansen. I haven't heard any official confirmation that Matt will not be coaching anymore, but based off this post, that's what it's looking like. What do you guys think? Now let's switch over to the Conqueror William Bonac. For the remainder of this video, we're going to review the guys that placed from 7th to 10th at this year's Mr. Olympia. And I have to say, these images of Bonac look a lot better than what I saw on the live stream. It's possible that this was the best William we've seen all year, but this was at least up there with the package he brought to the Impro Classic. And of course, Bonac isn't the same bodybuilder he was 5 or 6 years ago, but still a very impressive package. I was a little bit skeptical about him placing in 7th over Rafa and Brandon, but seeing these up-close images, it looks like William truly brought it. And he is not retiring from the sport. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the Conqueror can do next year. I counted him out, honestly, for most of this year. Even at this Mr. Olympia, I did not have him in my top 10, but once again, Bonac just keeps proving us wrong. Now let's talk about Rafael Brandao, who finished in 8th place at this year's Olympia. I know that a few people were probably disappointed by this placing because I was one of the people that had him top 5. Pretty sure other people had him top 5, top 6, but Rafa still needs to add more size. Now, on a positive note, this is Rafa's second Mr. Olympia. He placed 10th in his first competition. He placed 8th in his second Mr. Olympia. This is improvement, and I'm sure Rafa will continue to improve. Outside of him needing to add more size, Rafa needs to bring in his glutes and hamstrings a little bit more conditioned if he wants to move up at the O. So switching over to our 9th place finisher, former Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry. And I'm really not sure what to say about Brandon at this show. I think this was definitely a better look than he brought last year, but I think the last time we saw a great version of Brandon Curry was at the 2021 Mr. Olympia, where he took second, which is again almost 4 years ago. And unfortunately, I don't think Brandon has really improved since 2021. I think he's just slowly regressing. Take a look at this back double bicep. Brandon is a guy that should have the best back in the lineup, if not the top 2, top 3. But now, Brandon may not be in the conversation for having one of the top 5 best backs on the Open Olympia stage. But let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think is next for Brandon Curry? I've heard some rumors about him retiring, but from looking at his posts, looking at his captions, it doesn't seem like Brandon is going to be retiring to me. And let's switch over to our 10th place finisher, Akim Williams. And even though Akim finished 10th, this guy had one hell of a year. I would say this was Akim's best year since 2020, where he took top 6 at the O. Hopefully next year he can continue to improve on this. I can see an argument for Akim placing a little bit higher, but honestly, between Bonac, Rafa, Brandon, and Akim, looking at the close-up images, those 4 guys are a lot closer than I thought. But if you guys actually disagree with any of the placings from 7th to 10th, let me know in the comment section below. But again, crazy side tricep from Akim, man. But let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here. And yes, the archives are officially back. Let me know in the comment section below who are these legendary and massive bodybuilders. As always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. And if you have not done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that is it. I'm out.